I am Martha Washington, First Lady of the United States, and it was with some reluctance that I found myself in this unique role between 1789 and 1797. My husband, George Washington, was a determined and dedicated man to the cause of this young nation, and while I shared his love of our country, I had never sought to become a public figure. When George accepted the presidency, I knew that my life at Mount Vernon would be transformed. We had always led a peaceful existence on our land, surrounded by family and friends. However, the new capital in New York, and later Philadelphia, seemed like a completely different world. The social obligations, official receptions, and expectations placed on me as First Lady were overwhelming. From the beginning, I knew that I had to balance my role of supporting George with my desire to remain true to myself. I did not want to be seen as a queen in this new democratic system, but rather as an ordinary woman called to serve her country. I hosted weekly receptions, called levees, where I welcomed dignitaries, members of Congress, and curious citizens. These events were both opportunities for socializing and for me to support George in his difficult role. Despite these new responsibilities, my heart always remained in Mount Vernon. It was my sanctuary, where I could tend to the house, watch over our slaves, and be close to my family. The distance from my children and grandchildren was a challenge for which I was not prepared. My public role often deprived me of the simplicity and warmth of family life. George and I shared a great bond, although his position as national leader often took over his time. I supported him as much as I could, being his confidant in times of doubt and stress. I knew he carried the weight of a nation under construction, and I did everything I could to provide him with a safe haven from political intrigue. During those years, I also had the opportunity to meet many important figures, from foreign diplomats to leaders of our own country. These interactions opened my eyes to the challenges facing America, and although I was never directly involved in politics, I was proud to be able to contribute in my own way to this great experiment. When George decided not to seek a third term, I felt an immense sense of relief. We would finally return to the tranquility of Mount Vernon. I was ready to turn the page on that period of our lives and enjoy the years we had left together. I knew, however, that those years as president had taken their toll on him, physically and emotionally. Looking back, I am proud to have carried out my role with grace and dignity. It was not an easy task, but I believe I managed to balance the expectations of the nation with my own convictions. My greatest comfort is that George was able to lay the foundations of a country based on freedom and justice, a legacy that I hope will endure for generations to come.